Good Friday morning, everyone. I am Vicki Edmondson, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today, if you watched my video from last Friday, we made this cute fun fold card using the Tea Boutique DSP. And I promised that we would make another card this week using the same DSP because it's so cute and I just love it. So I hope you guys, some of you have made this card over the week. If you haven't, I encourage you to go ahead and make one. First, before we start making the card, I want to show you guys an adhesive kit that I have for sale. It comes in this cute little bag, zipper bag. If you go to a card class or a stamp camp or anything like that, this is a great little pouch that will have all the adhesives that you need for that class. Just grab and go. I'll have a link below to you can go to PayPal and purchase this if you'd like. And included in this, you get a silicone craft sheet. You get a pack of tearing tape. You'll get a pair of, or a pack of the dimensionals. You'll also get a box of mini glue dots. You will get a Stampin' Seal, and you'll get a multi-purpose mono liquid glue. And not Stampin' Up! Items included in the package, in the little pouch, will be a ruler, a 6-inch ruler, and an adhesive eraser. So if you're interested in this, go to the link that I have below. It's $40 plus $9 priority shipping, so it would get to you within a couple days. I have currently, I have just a few left that I have pre-made up. I think I have 4. So if you're interested in that, leave me, go to the link below and purchase it through PayPal. Okay, again today we're going to use the Tea Boutique 6x6 Designer Series paper. Lots of options with this DSP. Today I'm going to be using this one and this. This is the back side of that, and this is the back side of that. But you don't have to use the back side. All of the DSP paper that Stampin' Up! Makes and designs are color coordinating. That's why I love that you don't have to think about it. You can just look and pick and choose. So we're going to use this DSP again today. And we're also going to be using the Tahitian Tide within the Baker's Twine pack. We're going to be using that Baker's Twine. We're going to use Garden Green ink and Tahitian Tide ink. We're going to be using Stampin' Dimensionals, of course. We're going to use the Fun Flowers Resin Shapes. And we will also use the Painted Texture 3D Embossing Folder. And from the Stylish Shape dies, we're going to be using the second smallest. And from the teacup dies, we'll be using this teacup die and this die here that will cut out the greenery. And for the sentiment, I'm going to use Forever Fern stamp set and To a Friend That Makes Me Smile. Those are the items that we'll be using today. All right, so to begin with, you will need a piece of basic white thick that measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So you take that and you'll burnish it well with your bone folder. You'll also need a piece of fresh Freesia that measures 5 1/4 by 4, and I've already ran this through the 3D embossing folder, the Painted Textures. You will need 3 pieces of the Tahitian Tide cardstock. One measures 3 by 4. You'll need another piece that measures 3 by 2 3/4, and then a piece that measures 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. You will need a piece of white. You don't have to use it thick with this, just basic white. And this one measures 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. And then you'll need a piece that is a scrap, and that's what I'm going to stamp that sentiment on with that second smallest die in that set. And you also need another piece of Tahitian, fresh Freesia that is 2.5 by 2 3/4. You'll need a scrap of white that you will be stamping with one of the stamps, and you'll also need a piece of DSP that is 4 by 2.5, and then you'll need a scrap of the coordinating DSP. This is what we're going to use for the teacup, just one big enough to cut that teacup out with your die cut machine. Okay. All right, so let's start putting this together. Okay, first of all, you'll take this piece of white, and using that stamp, you will stamp in garden green. I stamped in full strength once. You'll see the darker color here. And then I stamped in the lighter color once, and then stamped off and stamped again. So I have two second generation stamps, images, and one of the darker green. All right, so let's take, and then you die cut, you stamp that in the first generation on another piece of white, and we're going to take the teacup. You've cut the teacup out with the die, so we're going to just adhere this to the teacup. Put a little bit of the multi-purpose glue here, and I'm going to put that just like that and lay that aside and let that set up for a bit. All right, then we will take this larger piece of Tahitian Tide, and we're going to mount it right here, adhere it here to this mat that we ran through the embossing folder. And we'll place that right about there. Make sure that's straight. All right, now we're going to take the DSP and mount it here. You're going to leave a little border at the top and bottom, but no border on the sides. It goes right up to that. Okay, and we will center this along here. Okay, then we'll take this piece of Tahitian Tide that measured the 3 by 2 3/4, and this one 2.5 by 2 3/4. I write my measurements on the back sometimes. And we're going to mount that just like that. And then we'll be mounting this one here, and we're going to take the teacup and pop it up here. So let's go ahead and get these adhered together. Again, this is a 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. That's what you would have stamped your greenery on. And we're going to center that right there, and then mount this one here. I hope if any of you do have this DSP already, you've made some lovely cards with it. It sure does make some pretty cards. Okay. Then we're going to take our Stampin' Dimensionals and take your pick tool. And I've told y'all this before. I typically cut my dimensionals in half so that I can get more mileage per se out of them, more use. You get 300 in a pack, and if you cut them in half, you'll have 600. But sometimes you need to use the whole ones, and if I do, then I do. I just use the whole one. Okay. Now we will take this, and we're gonna turn it about like that. Take your pick tool and take these backings off. Just like this. Okay, and we're going to place that just about like that. You want the greenery behind showing. I'm going to put it just like that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this on to our card base. This is our card front that we have so nicely put together. And that is going to go right there. Okay, now I'm going to take the square that the sentiment is going to fit on and adhere those together. Just so. And using that Tombow glue, multi-purpose glue, you do have some wiggle room, as I've explained before. And I'm just going to lay it out now and see exactly how I want it to be. Now I think I'm going to glue this down flat since this is popped up, and I'm going to pop this one up. Okay, so let's do that. You can do it however you want. You can pop both of them up if you want. You don't have to pop either one up if you don't want. It's your card. You do exactly what you want to do with it. Okay. And this one I'm going to pop up with more dimensionals here. And I need one more for this one. So I take my scissors that I have noted with my little Dalmatian here that I only use for cutting sticky things. It's a good idea to do that so you don't mess up all of your scissors with stickiness. I'll put one more in the center. And I'm going to take the backings off of these. Okay, and we're going to put that right about there, just like that. And then I'm going to take the Fun Flowers resin shapes, and these come in Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Parakeet Party, Starry Sky, and Fresh Freesia. Those are the colors it comes in. I'm going to use the Crushed Curry because it matches the Crushed Curry that's here in these little flowers. So I'm going to take the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool, and I think I'm going to, let's see what a big one looks like. Yeah, I'm going to put a big one right there. I'm just going to put one on there. It's best to use odd numbers when you're adding embellishments. It's just more pleasing to the eye, I think. Okay, now the last step is going to be to open this. If I can get it open, fingers don't want to work today. Sorry about that. There we go, the Tahitian Tide, baker's twine, and this is a bow jig that my husband made for me. It makes tying bows and knots and such so much easier for me. And if I can find the end of this, I should have found that off camera. Hold on just a minute. There we go. There it is. Okay. And I think I want them to be, I could do like this with double bows up here, but I also want double tails, and this way you're only going to get double bows. So I'm going to take my scissors, my snips, and cut about that much off, and another about that same size. Okay, I'll cut that, and I place them both together. Go around, come left over right, and then go up under and back over, and then back through and tie your little knot. Oh, I don't think I caught that one. Hang on just a second. I'll do it over. Take this back apart. Boy, I'm struggling today with my fingers. Okay, let's try this again, okay? Left over right, under and through the back, back over, and then bring both of them through, and grab them, and now you tie your little knot, okay? Take it right off your little nail heads here. And I'm going to use a mini glue dot. I'm going to roll it up a little bit and stick that on the back of my bow. And I'm going to place that right about there, okay? So you've got your double bow and you've got your double tails. And if you don't like the tails that long, you can cut them off. Shorter if you want, but I think I'm going to leave them just like that. So this card is complete. It's quite simple, quite easy. You can put some of the DSP strip in here. I did not cut a piece of that, but I could cut a small piece of this and line it down the side here, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and put down the side, and I think I'll do that off camera. But there is a card for today. This is my host code for the month of July. I will have all the measurements and dimensions and everything, all the products that I've used down below. You can click on that link, or there is a link that will take you to my store, and you can select these items to purchase if you want to make those. If you do not have a demonstrator that you currently deal with, I'd appreciate an order from you, and I would love to see the cards that you make with this DSP. Again, this is the Tea Boutique 6x6 DSP. So that's it for today. Also remember that the adhesive kit link will be below to purchase through PayPal. I appreciate everyone watching. I really appreciate you taking the time each Friday or whatever day you watch this. I try to post these on Fridays. But whatever day you decide to watch and have time to watch, I certainly appreciate your patronage in watching my videos. And for today, I thank you, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. And happy July 1st. Can't believe it's already July. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend.